Hey, this is Tanner. How you doing, man? With Elite Closers.
Good. I'm doing good.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, sorry for calling you a minute late. I was just wrapping some stuff up, but appreciate you making some time today. Where you from?
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. Cool, man. I got some family in Washington. I don't know how similar it is, but I just think of rain. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome, man. I'm looking forward to talking to you today. Really, what the goal of the call is to figure out what your goal is, what you're struggling with, what you've tried, all that type of stuff, and then at the end of the call, if you feel that what we can offer is good for you, we'll get you rolling, and we'll figure out a way to get you in. If you feel it's not a fit for you, no harm, no foul. You just say, hey, this isn't for me, and that's fine too. Like, I want you to know my goal is not to force you into something. I'm just here to help you make a good decision. I'm an advisor, and so if the best decision for you is to move forward, awesome. If it's not, like, that's fine, and I'll try my very best to give you the best advice. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. So, dude, let's just start at the top. What's your goal? Like, what would you like to accomplish if you were to join this program?
I want to get placed and find something either part-time or full-time
Okay.
that I could kind of supplement a second source of income.
Okay.
And I am in a different course for like remote closing. I don't think the placement is there
Okay.
per se. So I didn't pay the full price for that, so I don't really get that access.
Okay.
And I kind of market myself, so that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Of course, being more renowned when I leave the program. I'm kind of just looking for that, honestly, and using high ticket closing as like a
Okay.
skill I really want to focus on over the next
Okay. And what?
3 months to a year to really like grow into that field. So yeah.
Okay. And then what course are you in right now?
Let me look up the exact name just so I like got it correctly.
Yeah, just it might give me some insight of like if I recognize the program and I kind of know like what you're being taught or what's in there. That would be helpful.
Yeah. It's just um,
Interesting. Okay, I haven't heard of it. So what they do is they teach you in there, but they don't place you. And then what they
Pushi Tiwari. She's kind of has her own space now too. They got Instagram.
okay.
Kind of have like her own little inner circle thing. Yeah, it's just I think you just have to pay more for replacements. I paid more for just skill building
Okay.
and yeah, different format.
And what did that program cost you?
2 grand.
Okay, cool. And then you want to get placed. That makes sense. You've tried that. Have you ever worked with a coach? So when I say working with a coach, like, have you had any one-to-one training, or has it always been group?
It's always been group.
Okay, cool. And then, do you have any sales experience, like in real life? Like, have you ever done door-to-door sales, like any phone sales, anything like that?
Very lightly.
Lightly. Okay.
Door to door. I work in marketing with salespeople and that.
Okay. What did you do door to door?
Painting.
Oh, no way. Okay, cool. I did alarms in Alabama in the summer. It was brutal. Yeah, it was brutal. Um, okay. And then what are you doing for work right now? Like, are you doing part-time job? Do you have no job? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, I'm a product analyst.
Okay.
In healthcare.
Awesome.
My job.
Okay, cool, man. And then you're looking to go either full-time or part-time. Do you have a preference?
Part-time at first.
Okay.
Full-time if I can really like get the ball rolling.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And then,
Well, I think that's also something people talk about. I don't know how realistic that is.
yeah. No, I mean, you could definitely go. I mean, you could definitely go full-time. It's just, it's what your wants are. I mean, because it depends on the business. Like, if you're gonna go part-time, then it might be a business that's making a little less revenue because they're like, okay, we only need a guy who's going to take 3 or 4 calls a day or something like that. If you want to go more full time, it could be anywhere from 8 to 10 calls a day, right? Because not all the calls are going to show up. Go ahead.
Yeah, do you see people who work full-time but they also do this kind of full-time as well and kind of transition out of that?
Oh yeah, no, I mean they don't do both at the same time, but what they'll do is they'll start part time, and then once they start making kind of enough money to replace their full time income, they'll go in, and then their income goes up even more, right? So I think that's the best. I think that's a smart way to do it. Like, you don't want to burn your boat, so to speak, before you've got proof of concept. So what we would do is, we get you trained up. We try to place you in a company that would be okay with a part-time person with opportunity to work to full-time. And then as you start getting, what happens is it'll naturally happen, because as you start making sales, you start seeing commissions come in. You're like, okay, this works, and then you'll feel more comfortable to leave. Versus like right now, I mean, it'd be a cold hard stop for you. That's like a little bit harder to do.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then are you, in terms of your schedule right now, I'm just assuming it's like an 8 to 5, 9 to 5 type job? Okay. And then would you be willing to work on weekends, as you're part-time and you're like trying to ramp up and stuff? Would that be doable?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay. And like what I'd probably, for you, what I'd probably expect is like if you were working 8 to 5, let's say like you couldn't cut your hours back, you'd probably take calls in the evening, and then you might do a little bit more on weekends, possibly depending on the business owner. Because, if you're like, hey, I don't want to cut off any time from work, the only time you're really going to be able to take calls would probably be, like 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So you might get like 3 or 4 calls in there, possibly depending on how much you're willing to work. And then obviously the weekends, where, that's going to be your best time, and it's going to be where you're the most rested. So that will depend on the company, but just kind of like giving you a little bit of a idea of what that could possibly look like. So yeah, based off of that, dude, I definitely think it's realistic. I got most of the info I needed. So what I want to do next is I'm going to go into what I call our 3 pillars, so that you understand what's different about our company versus any other kind of remote closing program out there. You ready for that?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so the first pillar is elite sales coaching. So what most people do, it kind of sounds like what you're getting right now. You kind of get in the group format, they throw you in a portal. You're going to get coaching group style, but you don't really get any one-to-one. And then sometimes it's usually from lower level employees, right? So instead of getting it from the CEO or getting it from a super experienced sales rep, you're getting it from someone who kind of just gets paid to come in and coach and kind of push you along, okay? What we do is, when you come in our program, is not only do we pair you up with some of the top coaches in the industry who sold at least 8 figures, but so you're already working with some of the best. Like some of these people have been doing sales 7, 8, 9 years full time. Not only that, but you're going to get unlimited messenger access, so you can ask as many questions as you like. You're going to get one-to-one calls as needed. So all you have to do is you submit a form, you get a one-to-one call with your coach. You can go over practice calls, questions, whatever. And then we actually have 3 group calls a day. So one is a role play. So role play is where you're actually, practicing with someone. And then 2 of them actually will cover live sales calls, where we'll break them down. And then we have those calls all throughout the day. So no matter what your time zone is, you can always make at least one of those calls, because we have people in Eastern time zone, Pacific, Central. And so we want to make sure no matter where you're at, you can make one of those calls. So the biggest thing you're going to get if you work with us is you're going to get a very high level of coaching support for what I believe is going to be a very nominal fee, especially compared to what you've paid in the past. Okay. That's pillar number 1. Like, any questions about that before I go to the second one?
Yeah,
Sure.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah, and Saturday. We even do stuff on Saturday. So it's really Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday's the only day we don't do calls.
And these are different coaches each time, or like a set group?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it's, yes, we have different coaches each time, but it's the same coaches. So what I mean by that is we have specific sales coaches, right? So like one day might be and the next day might be, but it's not ever going to be like, it's just going to be the same sales coaches. Yeah. Okay. So pillar number 2 is what I call interview opportunities. So kind of what you said before, what most people do is you're going to go through training and then that's it, right? So even if they do try to place you, it's usually only self-sourcing. So they're like, hey, here's how you can go and source yourself, and like, good luck, hope it works out. So it's kind of not great. What we do is, once you complete our program and you're certified by your coach, we're going to start trying to find places for you to be placed. And what we do is we guarantee interviews. Now, we don't guarantee placement, only because like if you show up naked on the call or you do something crazy, they're not going to hire you. But what we do guarantee is we're going to place you in front of as many business owners as possible until you eventually get a job. The only reason you wouldn't get placed is literally if you suck. And at that point, it's like, even if we place you, it's not going to matter because you get fired. So like, the whole reason we do our sales training is not to waste your time. It's to make sure you're good enough so that when we place you, because a lot of people are like, well, why can't I just get placed? I'm like, we can do that, but if we give you the interviews and you suck and then you don't get placed, we just tell people you can't come look at us and be like, oh well, it didn't work out. It's like, well, you didn't take our training and they said you suck. Like we want you to get placed. Like that's how we make money. So just understanding that the second thing is interview opportunities, and that's why a lot of people pick our program over others, is because again, that's really what you want. Like you're not just here to get sales training, you're here to get placed, right? You want to get interviews, and so we guarantee interviews, and we have a massive Rolodex of business owners because we have a business consulting offer. And so what happens is a lot of those business owners that work with us already ask for reps like you, and so we just match you guys up really easy, and it's not a big deal because they already know where they're coming from. Okay. Last thing is what I call lifetime community and opportunities. Okay. So typically, what you'll see in the industry is as soon as a program is over, you're going to lose access to everything. And then even if they place you, because right, the program you're in right now, you said it doesn't place you, but even if they did, if you got let go or fired, they're not going to place you again, right? So most recruiting agencies, they'll place you once, and then if you get fired or let go, they're just like, yeah, we're not going to place you again because you got fired. What we do is not only are you going to get lifetime access to our portals, but as long as you don't get fired for doing something detrimental to the company, right? Like you post, derogatory comments, or you show up and you look disheveled, or you miss calls, stuff where it's like a fireable offense. We're going to place you as many times as you like to make sure it's a good fit. So most of our reps stay with one company for months on average. But if for whatever reason, like you get in there and it's like, hey, they lied, or they said like they could get me more calls and I can't, then you just come back to us and we're just going to replace you until you're happy. Because again, like we're basically just the middleman, and we're trying to make sure it's a happy family and a married couple. So if you're not happy, we have tons of businesses who are always looking for reps. So it's not a big deal. We're just like, hey, if you don't like that one, we'll put you with this next one. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So just to recap, again, the 3 pillars. First pillar is elite sales coaching. So, we have sales coaches who've sold at least 8 figures. You're going to get one-to-one coaching from them, not just group. Okay. Number 2 is interview opportunities. So again, the biggest part about our program that I think you're looking for is we guarantee interviews. Okay. So literally, like, you're going to get interviews no matter what. It's just the biggest thing for you is making sure you're as ready as possible so that when you get those interviews, you get picked up and they don't pick someone else over you. Or it doesn't take you a long time, because like eventually you'll get picked, but it's like, I'm sure you'd rather get picked sooner than later, like everybody else. And then number 3 is lifetime community and opportunity. So like I said, you get lifetime access to our group coaching and our portal, even after you've paid. And on top of that, you're going to get replaced if you ever go to a company and you don't like it. You just come back to us. You go back in our system, our farm system is what I kind of call it. And then we'll replace you with another company of your choosing. Okay, because at the end of the day, we do our best, but it's like, you've probably dated a couple girls and it didn't work out. It's the same thing here. There's just there's no way for us to guarantee it's going to be perfect, but we will guarantee that we'll replace you. Okay.
Couple questions.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm actually getting a lot of text messages right now. How long what determines someone getting certified from a coach?
Yeah.
And the next step to get placed.
Yeah, so really what it is it's 2 things. It's 1, it's going through our portals, and then 2, it's usually doing a role play where they check you off. So obviously our sales coaches have been doing this a long time, and so what you do is you'll role play with them, and then you'll just role play until you get through the call and they're confident that you can close. Because I'll say this, you don't have to be perfect, but if you get on the call and you can't even finish a script, and you can't follow the script, and you're making a ton of mistakes, we don't want to certify you to go get placed because you're just going to get fired. And so the way we look at it is we're going to work with you until you're ready to get the interviews. Once you're ready to get the interviews, we'll just start interviewing you as fast as we can.
Yeah.
So
And just regardless of the economy, do you still see high ticket sales still growing? I just keep going up on latest stuff more than things like that. So
yeah, I mean, dude, it's not going anywhere. Just for context, I've been doing this for 6 years. My company has actually done 70 million in sales, and the sales industry is 3.2 billion right now, and it's getting bigger. So the thing that I tell people is every company needs sales reps. So it's not ever going to stop because every company needs to make sales. So as long as you are willing to learn the skill, this is like one of the skills that will pay dividends the rest of your life, because if you ever get let go or you change jobs or whatever, if you can really close deals, those guys are in super high demand because every company needs it.
Yeah, I mean in the info space and just like entrepreneurship.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, even the information space is still growing. Like, I don't see it going anywhere. I do think it's getting more competitive in terms of the companies that are not as good are starting to get flushed out. But I don't see it going anywhere, no, because at the end of the day, everyone's still trying to learn. And I actually think like this type of education is getting more popular compared to like college. And so I just see it getting bigger and bigger. And that's kind of what the statistics say.
Okay. And do you work at all?
We do, yeah. So he's actually a good friend of mine, personal friend. He lives in Miami. He's a couple streets down from me.
I right now, that's like my goal company.
So I'm personal friends with. So if that was something that you were interested in,
Yeah, I bought his course to build up the business. I kind of know what he sells the business. I guess it's like the type of thing I would like to. It would be easy to sell.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
easy, but you know what I mean. It's like something I could get behind.
for sure, yeah. And he's a good dude. He lives right down the street from me. He's in Miami, and yeah, I mean, he's got a team of about 45 or 50, and anytime he's looking to scale.
I know he posted some roles, but he wanted like someone who did like 2 million generated or whatnot.
So I could definitely get you that introduction and interview. And if for whatever reason like you needed more experience first, like we could place you somewhere else, you get some experience, and then you can come back and get placed somewhere else. Like we don't really care, dude, because at the end of the day, it's like we're just trying to get business owners what they want. We're trying to get you what you want. And as long as like they have sales reps and as long as you're on a job, everybody's happy. But yeah, I know very well, and we actually send closers to him right now already. So we have a good relationship, and if that's something you're interested in, you can work hard towards that. We're happy to let you apply. Now, in terms of applying, I can't guarantee he's going to hire you, obviously, because that's his decision. But I can definitely get you the introduction. I can definitely get you the opportunity. So if you're willing to work your ass off and that's something you want to do, there's no reason why we can't get you placed with him or get you interviewed with him. Excuse me.
Yeah, I just kind of understand the dynamic of what he was trying to teach in the consumer course, and then the consulting offers to businesses, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just thought that was like one person that like, yeah, I could definitely get behind.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 pillars: coaching every day. Can you? Is there someone who just joined the course who's kind of like in my shoes, to just kind of saw interviews or anything like that?
Dude, I mean,
Summer, I thought we got interviews or anything like that.
I mean, everyone's kind of in your shoes because you got to think about it. Most people who get on the phone with us, like they're already making money from a job, but they want something better. So, I mean, we very rarely get someone on the phone who isn't in your situation, to be quite honest with you. So,
I met someone who's joined and kind of got the ball rolling.
I mean,
like sometime this summer, and
yeah, I mean, we get 60 to 70 sales a month, so we get about 60 or 70 people like yourself every month that come through. So, I mean, I wish I could give you maybe a more direct answer, but I guess we just have so many clients that it's like the only answer I can really give you is yes. Like we just constantly are getting new reps every single month. So, they come in, they start going through the training, they do the role plays, they do their one-to-ones, they have their messaging access, and then, as they progress through the portal, they get certified, and then once they're certified, we put them in our placement pool, and then we start just setting up as many interviews as we can. So, I mean, you're like our ideal person. Like, you're making money, you're in a 9 to 5, you make, it's good, but you're kind of looking for more. You want to start part-time, we work you into it. Once you get it part-time, we move you to full-time. So we have like a lot of testimonials on our website, like eliteclosers.com. You can also go to Trustpilot. We have like almost 100 Trustpilot reviews, and we're like a 4.9 out of 5 rating. So we definitely, like, I'll say this, like, we have the best service in the industry, and especially for the cost. Like, the amount of service you'll get from us, I think you'll be astounded, because it's a really good service, dude. Like a lot of people, they're just group and a couple calls here. It's like not only do you get all the group calls, but you're gonna get all the portal, you're gonna get all the group access, plus you get to connect with all the other reps, and then on top of that, you have that unlimited one-to-one coaching and Zoom calls as needed. So it's like most people there for that, they're going to charge high five figures, and ours is like nowhere near that. And so I think it's kind of like a pleasant surprise for most people.
One more question. So
Yeah, you're good.
the calls are group every day, or is it one-on-one every week?
It's both. So we have 3 group calls every day. Remember, one is role play. So
3 every day.
yeah, so 3 every single day, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday we have 1 call. Sunday we're off, and then you have unlimited access to your coach, and then all you have to do to have a call with them is you have to apply for one. So like we have like a little form, and then it's going to ask you a couple questions, and then as long as those couple, like, did you do this, did you do that, yes, okay, you get a call. And then you just work through the program, bro, and you go as fast as you can go. You can go at your own pace, but you can go as fast as you want to go, and the faster you get done, the faster you get placed. It's kind of how it works.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. What's like the quickest you kind of saw somebody getting placed? Because I would like to.
Usually, yeah, I'd say about the fastest I've ever seen someone get placed is 30 days, but I'd say like on average, I'd say about 60, but it depends how fast you go through. So like if after work every day you're working through the portal, you're working on weekends, it's going to be closer to like the 30 to 60. If you don't do that and you're just doing a couple hours a week, it's going to be closer to like 4 months, right? Because it's not just going through the portal. It's you have to actually do a live sales calls, and the live sales calls is where most people actually struggle, right? Because it's like it's one thing to script something, and then it's another thing to have a full blown I have hiccups. Full blown conversation.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. You have any other questions? They're all great questions. Just want to make sure I get them all answered for you.
Payment plans and leniency of that, and then how much it would cost for everything.
Yeah, for sure. So the program is 6 months, 6 months long, and then like I said, it's still lifetime access. So the 6 months is for your one-to-one. Okay, so you get one-to-one for 6 months.
Yeah.
After 6 months, if you don't want to pay us anything else, that's totally fine. You get group for life, and then you keep access to everything else. So the cool thing is like you kind of get free. The coaching you're getting right now that you paid for, you basically get that for free with us. Like the real thing you're paying for is the one-to-one. So it's a 6 month program, and then the cost of the program is $3,000.
Okay. And that's everything?
Yeah, that's everything unless you want to pay more. I can raise the price for you. I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
So it would be one time?
Yeah, unless you want to pay more times, but yeah, it's usually one time. I'm just joking with you again, but yeah, it's one time, man. I know that's what a lot of people say because it's such a good deal.
Yeah.
And we're pretty much like.
No, meaning could you do a split, or do you have to pay one time?
Oh, I mean, so I'll say this: like our best clients usually pay in full because they're the most committed. That's what I've seen. But it's whatever. I mean, I'm here to help you. So if you can pay in full, I'd suggest that because you get it done. You don't have to pay anything else.
Paying in full makes sense, but payment plan towards that full amount.
Like what?
So you do a full one-time payment of $3,000, or what, $1,500 and then another $1,500.
So typically we do 3,000. Like would that work?
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're able to do that, I mean, we just take care of that, and then we can get the ball rolling.
Okay. Another thing I forgot to ask you about the marketing side of it. Do you have to kind of market yourself in a way, so it's on your socials, in order to kind of break in the space as well?
Like what? Like, can you be more specific? Like, market yourself in terms of what?
Like Facebook, IG, things like that.
Like to get a job, or like what? What do you mean?
Like do more students that are like successful, because they kind of just be like those on social media that actually doing that type of thing.
I mean, not really, dude. I mean, because like you got to remember, like you're gonna get picked up by a company. So could it help you? I mean, sure, it's not gonna hurt you. It's not like, oh my gosh, I put this on my social media, it hurt me. No, but I mean, I'll be honest. Like I've employed a ton of sales reps, and they don't necessarily have their social media like, oh, I work for Tanner. It's like they just have their normal lives because that's not what they're. Yeah, so to be honest with you, not really. You could definitely do it. It's not going to hurt you, but it's not like you have to go out there and like, you know, market yourself or something.
Yeah. And on average, I think we can cover this part. Like, how much do you see people kind of starting out making commission wise and then kind of growing into?
Yeah. So if you wanted to,
And I say that because all the other people are gonna be like, hey, how much do you want to make and things like
yeah.
that.
Well, so
What we would say is more.
yeah. So to answer your question, obviously part of it comes down to how much you can work. So like let's just do some math. Let's say hypothetically you get a part-time gig. Let's be really conservative. So let's say you get 2 calls a week or 2 calls a day, 5 days a week. So that's 20. So 2 calls a day, 5 days a week, that's 40 calls a month. Let's say you close 30%, which is like not great. I mean, it's like it's okay, it's average, but I think a lot of people can actually close more if they're better. So if you have 40 calls, you're closing about 30%, give or take. That's about it's 20. It's about what 10? Like no, it's a little less than that. It's gonna be about like let's just say 12 calls. So if you close, if the program price is 10,000, which like let's say you did, and you close 12 deals at 120K or 12K, that'd actually be $12,000, and that's just part time, right? So you can actually it depends a lot on the company and the price point. So like if you did a $6,000 program, then you make about $6,000 part time. But I think for you, like if your goal is like you wanted to work with, what you could do is say, hey, look, I'd prefer to work with a company that has a higher price point, but you got to be better, right? The benefit of a lower price point is then if you're not quite as good, then that company will bring you on and you can kind of learn. But I would say like for you, if you're doing part time based on those numbers, if you're a closer between 6 to 12K, if you're a setter between 3 to 6K, right? And it depends where you. Go ahead.
Teach that as well for setting.
Oh, we do everything, yeah, because most closers, if you're like a hybrid or you're part time, sometimes what they'll do. So let's say hypothetically, you get placed in a company that does 50,000 a month. So if you get 10% commission, that's only 5,000 a month, which like isn't a lot of closers are like, no, that's not enough. So what they'll usually do is they'll also have you do setting, and you'll make an extra like 3 or 4 grand a month. So now you're making 9,000. So we definitely will teach you both because we call those hybrid closers, where you do a little bit of messaging and you do a little bit of calls. Again, it's up to you when you get placed. Like you tell us, because if you tell us a number, we're gonna be like, okay, these are the companies where like you can make that money, and then this is kind of gonna be your role, so you know that going into it.
Yeah. Cool. And are you constantly making new kind of business? How do I say it? Like, constantly making like new business sign-ons with different growing internet companies, things like that.
So
Usual.
no, I have 4 companies. One of them is called Elite CEOs. I've had it for 6 years. The other one is Elite Closers, which is this one, which we've had for 2 years. And then the other 2 is Elite Ads. We've had that for 4 years, and then the other one's Elite 360. We've had that for 3 years. So what happened is Elite CEOs, they actually are all affiliated. So think of it as like, Amazon. So it's like Amazon, then you have AWS, and then you have Amazon Prime, and then you have Amazon, like Kindle, like it's all the same company. So it's more like divisions. So I guess to answer your question, no, I don't create a bunch of new companies, but we create new products and divisions. And so this division came about because we have so many business owners, and they're like, hey, we need reps. We're like, all right, let's just create it.
I meant that part, the business owners part. Are you constantly making like new relationships with business owners that are like, hey, we need more reps? Is that kind of?
Oh yeah, like
things are kind of.
yeah, we have a ton of business owners. So like the cool part about our program compared to others is we get, tons and tons of business owners every month, and then those business owners want reps, and so it's a really good that's part of why we created this, because they're like, we want reps. We're like, okay, so let's just create a certification program that feeds right into our consulting program. And so yeah, that's kind of how this came about. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Do you also hire for the customer success manager roles?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I could get you interviewed for whatever, but obviously, like if you're gonna take yeah, I mean, like I would say this, like if you learn sales, it's a lot easier to learn sales and then be taught coaching than learn coaching and be taught sales. So like I'll say this, if you learn how to sell, you can pretty much go and get whatever role you want because like it's like, hey, I'm a sales rep, I can sell a lot. What happens is the coaches are usually doing upgrade calls. So you actually will use sales on those calls. So yeah, like at the end of the day, dude, if you come in and work hard, um, I'm the best person you could have talked to because I very rarely take these calls. We were overbooked today, and I'm the CEO, so I'm personal friends with him. So like, if you work hard, as long as the coaches say like you've done everything you're supposed to do and you got certified, I'll get you interviewed. Like, and I'll make sure you get an interview with them, and I don't see any reason why not because I know him. I just shoot him a text and he's good to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's been around half an hour. Do you want me to put the credit card information through email or don't we?
No, if you have it, I just take it right over the phone, and then you'll get an immediate receipt, and then I'm gonna send you over our agreement. You sign it, and then we get you inside the portal either tonight or early AM.
Okay. Let me go get my credit card.
Awesome. Okay, man. I'll be here. All right, man. All set. So you're gonna get a receipt right now. It's gonna say from that is the legal entity for Elite Closers. I am going to text you. Actually, I'll text you right now to get your legal info, and then I'm going to put that in the agreement, and then once you sign that, we're going to get you onboarded. So I need your I'm texting you right now, full name, email, address, full legal name, I should say. And that's it, man. If you have any questions, shoot me a text. I have to take a couple more calls, so I will send it before I go to bed. Give me like 2 hours, maybe 3 max, and I will text you when it's sent, and then we're rocking and rolling.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, man, appreciate you. I'll talk to you in a little bit, okay? Congrats.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you bet, buddy. Bye.